What athleticism.
And there you have it, your APTA National Champions.
Best match of the year.
Brilliant shot.
Incredible stuff. And it's sitting up and he's right there.
Hello and welcome to the 2022-23 APTA Tour. We are live from the Birchwood Club in Highland Park, Illinois, bringing you the 2023 Birchwood Open Men's and Women's NRT 2022-23 APTA Tour event, which is the 9th stop on the APTA Tour, presented by Remedy Plus and sponsored by the APTA membership, the APTA national sponsors, Paddle Pro and Fusion, and local sponsors, Mezzaro, Crane Construction Company LLC, Peak Properties, North Star Benefits, Midnight Paddle, and Dr. Jessica Cohn, Orthodontics. I'm Patty Hogan, along with the one and only Mark Fischel, bringing you the men's final between #1 seeded team of Adam Morgan and Tyler Frazier versus #2 seeded team, Mitch Granger and Alex Lampropoulos. Mark, can you introduce us to the players?
Sure, Patty. Pleasure to be here with you. On the bottom right on our screen, serving sidearm is Adam Morgan. We can see Adam serving that way the entire match, and to his left, the dynamic Tyler Frazier, who's the captain of the team, and he's informed me of that the last 2 tournaments. On the far side of the net, in the white hat, is Landropoulos and his partner Mitch Granger in all black. So I'm a little concerned about these guys, Patty. They played a 3-hour-plus semifinal. Landropoulos has been hurt the last few weeks.
Sure, let's take a look at the draw, Mark, and you can see why he's hurting a little bit.
Yes. So both teams had 3 setters, although Frazier Morgan was much faster. Oenig and Schumacher put up a great battle. I know there was some time, I think it was early second set, where Landropoulos took a break from the match, just kind of sat down and got himself together. Knee, elbow, I've heard a variety of ailments really been bothering him. So wondering how much he's going to have left for the final, but we're going to find out in the next hour to hour and a half.
Yeah, you know, Frazier and Morgan, what a treat, Mark. They're #1 seed here, and kind of nice that our host pro, Adam Morgan, right out of here of Birchwood, is in this men's final. They have ascended the ranks, in case you were not aware of it. I know you know, Mark, but for those of you new to platform tennis viewing, these guys have really reached the semifinals of nationals last year.
Last 2 years.
Last 2 years, so they are right there in the upper echelon of the sport. And you know, you were describing Morgan's playing style earlier, just a guy who just grinds and gives it his all, kind of Nadal-like. And every single shot the guy hits, every single point of every single match I've ever seen him play, just the mental toughness it takes for an opponent just to take that mentality on, pretty awesome. And then you have Tyler Frazier, just is a human highlight reel just watching him, the variety, his court coverage, just one of the players one of the most dynamic players in our sport.
Now, Patty, let's talk a little about these guys. Last week they had a much anticipated quarterfinal matchup with Durant Mitchell, a team they've played some epic matches with, and they got smoked. What does that do for team confidence? Not that you've ever gotten smoked, but how do you feel when you have a match like that and you really get punched in the face and you don't have a response?
You know, that was just brutal, but I'm just going to say that's just Durant Mitchell phenomenal. Let's just call it that. And I think Frazier Morgan, I'm sure they're devastated that they got crushed, but did the lead button, Mark, and here they are. And, you know, they're expected to pull this whole tournament out as the #1 seeds. And next stop on the APTA Tour, Grand Prix next weekend, Short Hills. So They have forgotten last weekend in Boston and just are looking for the win in this tournament tonight.
Okay. Here we go. We've talked about this numerous times, but Adam Morgan drives more balls than I think any player in the country. Off the deck, off the wires, off the umpire's chair.
Come on. Go, Alex.
And Frazier is such a brilliant blitzer. I mean, that's their game. Morgan's driving, Frazier's blitzing.
You see a lot of Frazier blitzing, Mark. I think, you know, the thing that I watch a little bit is given the amount of drives that comes off Morgan's paddle, even at Frazier, it's not even blitzing as much. I mean, it is sometimes, Mark, but a lot of it's just those little movements. And Tyler will sneak up into the court and play like a little hands play. And he goes from, you know, crushing the ball to having the ability to take everything off the ball and pull off like a pure finesse half volley as well as anybody in the game. You know, like that little sneaky shot right there. That's what I'm talking about with Frazier. I always was impressed by his composure. As he started in this game and he started his ascent, where he just seemed to be able to go full blast or not with equal effectiveness.
Yeah, we've seen the development of Frazier. I think we saw his first tournament when he played the mixed doubles tournament in Cincinnati, and he was just, wow, so much skill, so much athleticism.
A pro from Cincy, Camargo. His wife Olivia are expecting their first baby this year. How exciting.
Okay, so first game to Granger Landropoulos, and I think an early start is imperative for them, Patty.
Yeah.
As we talked about earlier, Alex Landropoulos just looked exhausted in the semis. He actually sat down and took a break in the match. But we've seen a lot of Mitch Granger. He played really well in Philly. They lost in the semis, I think with Eric West to Granger to Bostrom and Rams. And he played really well, I thought. So we've seen a lot of this from Tyler Frazier. He's serving the deuce court really hard, looking for the nick, which he finds in the first point.
How many serves does Tyler have that are highly effective, Mark?
You know, it's interesting, Patty. He's got 4 or 5, but I only saw one of them in the semis. He was just serving hard continuously. Great cut winner there from Frazier. He's starting way out on the alley, and he's serving really hard for the nick.
Yeah, I saw in the earlier match how far out and kind of often checking his feet to make sure he's within the boundary of the doubles, you know, sideline extended.
Looked like Adam Morgan thought that ball was good, but confirmed by chair umpire. 30-15. That is going to be a hard ball to pick up off the deck and drive.
I mean, Lambeau, tennis player, University of Kentucky, on a shorter court with speed and spins from Frazier's paddle. That's going to be, I don't think he's going to be looking, I just don't think he's going to pull off winners against Morgan Frazier on his return. And I don't think he can afford many return to serve errors in this match.
There you saw the type of point that Tyler Frazier is looking to create, that chaos that we see so much from Juan Araya, where everybody's running around, going forward, going backward, and when he doesn't hit the nick, that's what happens on that hard serve.
Good.
Lob is long. It's 1-all, first set.
Let's go.
That is a heavy jacket that Andropoulos is taking off right now.
I was just wondering if Kerry Delmonico had advised him on outerwear.
Yeah.
Only because our friend Kerry Delmonico is a fashionista, and you've seen her get onto the paddle court, and she brings out her warmest jackets, most that most people would wear in a little dressier event. But She pulls it out here, and this is all about staying warm. And I don't know if Ambo, as Mike Riley says, everybody knows him as. You know, it's just coming over and trying to like come through. And I'm just hoping his injuries don't hurt as much because he's made it through that grueling semifinal. Psychologically, Mark, I think sometimes when you're hurt, you're in those grinds in that semi to get into this final. You know, once you can get through it, then and all the body parts might feel a little bit better because you know most
15.
you have to do here, 3 sets.
15:30. Yep. Reached the end of the road. A couple of brilliant cut winners from Landropoulos. Great drive, great lob there from Morgan. Show him hold that ball a long time before committing. Frazier misses that one, takes us to deuce.
Saw that lob from Morgan up the line over Lampropoulos' head. Mark, that shot is going to be key for Lampropoulos and Granger. You know, they've got to be able to defend that.
Oh, great half volley. Landropoulos got some serious skills. Got to be careful with that overhead Tyler Frazier, though. If you can hit the back wire first, he's going to hurt you with the backhand.
Mark, in the semifinal with Heldon Smith, how many balls did they dump in the middle where Morgan played him off that back screen, his backhand? Weren't there a lot, Mark?
1,206 by my count, Patty.
1,206. I had lost count after the first 1,000. And I just wonder, you know, what strategy on the overheads we'll see, you know, that Mitch and Alex have settled in on.
A couple of careless errors from Tyler Frazier. Takes us to 40-30. Really like how Granger Landropoulos look early.
They look really fresh. Now they've got a little jump in their step here. I only say that because I saw them. I was watching the other match, and I just wasn't even sure he could finish it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That's a smart play by Landropoulos there, staying back, not trying to get back to the net. Patty, you don't have dinner reservations tonight, do you?
Tomorrow. Not tonight, Mark.
You might make those. Another good exchange for Granger Landropoulos, and they go up 2-1 first set. I like the start for them.
Really good start, and I think you said kind of a loose errors from Frazier in a couple of shots. I feel like that's Tyler time. He's just getting ready. He's testing out a couple of different overheads, and you know, they were out here warming up for a good 20 minutes, I think, or 25 minutes before this match started, and kind of enjoy watching Frazier warm up because he'll try all sorts of stuff and figure out what's working and what's not, and he'll move forward in the match with what's working. Usually everything's working for Tyler Frazier.
Yeah, he's so dynamic, does so many things well, great athlete. Okay, so Adam Morgan to serve. Adam was one of the first guys on tour to go exclusively to that sidearm serve. See a myriad of overheads from Frazier. Morgan, you'll see a steady diet of that roller.
Mark, I know you know everything about every result. What are the two tournaments Morgan Frazier already won this year?
Well, think they won the first tournament of the year in Chicago. The 905,
Spot on.
634, 827. Which numbers was it? So I obviously don't remember everything. And then
867.
right,
309.
867. Oh, there we go, Patty. That's dating us. And then they won the Midwesterns.
Did so they're looking for their third tour event win of the year, and I'm sure they'll be in Chicago next weekend. Mark, as far as you know, all the top teams going to be in Chicago. I mean, in Short Hills.
I know Parsons is not playing. I think Ariah's playing with somebody else. Maybe Grant McNerney. I'll have to get confirmation on that.
Oh, okay.
I think the rest of them are playing. Great pickup. Oh, good blitz. Love that play from Landropoulos.
Oh boy, he wanted that one.
The 355, the Medina 355 at the legendary Medina Country Club. Oh, great cut splash from Tyler Frazier there.
Marking watching both men's semifinals, you know, where Frazier stands out so among all the great guys. Right here in this tournament, he's the best. He's got so much variety, and he really can end points from the net with his spins against anybody in the country.
A couple of great drives there from Landropoulos. Frazier plays so close to the net and hits that swinging volley. Very similar to the way Alex Mancini used to play. That ball was smoked off the paddle of Landropoulos. Actually hit it too hard.
Well, it's a fine line, right? You got to crush it enough that the guys don't think they can stick the volley, and hitting it that hard is going to come well right back into the court, almost to the service line.
And there you saw Frazier. He's just on top of the net looking to offensively volley virtually everything. You got to be very careful hitting that three-quarter pace drive to him. That ball was coming back at Granger before Landropoulos has finished his swing. So 2-all first set. Some good action early, Patty.
I like it. I'm really psyched for Granger and Landropoulos here, Mark, because I really thought, I mean, at one point, it seemed like a 15-minute break during their match, and I thought that Mike Raleigh had reported to me that it was Granger who was cramping at that point, but I'm not sure that was right. But Mike Raleigh,
yeah, Mike Raleigh's almost never wrong.
he is almost never wrong. So this is the start we talked about, and talk about, you know, it's so important when you have Birchwood Morgan, who in everyone's mind would pick them to win this tournament from the onset, and keeping it close in the early going here is huge for Alex and Mitch.
You're seeing some misses early from Frazier Morgan, keeping him in it. Morgan lobs so well. Watch the movement he creates with his lobbing. We saw it in the women's semi before from Liz Cruz.
She's masterful in her ability to just string the shots together, to break down teams, and then she goes with those little off-speed drives that just are crushing. Don't crush it with pace, they just crush it because they make you bend and reach just beyond what most people are able to do naturally.
And she spots the ball so well too. Great cutoff there from Landropoulos.
30, love.
Oh, what a pickup, Landropoulos. That was unbelievable.
That was great, and it was an update. I read my text wrong from Mike Raleigh. I was the one dead wrong on who was cramping.
No. It was Mike Raleigh.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike Raleigh had it wrong.
Wait, was Mike Raleigh cramping?
It was a long match. Mike's not in shape like when he was younger. Oh, this is some great action here. Assist lob from Adam Morgan. Takes us to 40 love.
40. Love.
Sometimes when you see these matches and you think it might be a little bit lopsided, you know, the fact that there's another factor out here, and I think with
What a
Granger Lavropoulos, they have no fear of Fraser Morgan. Would you agree, Mark?
Yeah, my guess is these guys play together on a frequent basis. 3 of the 4 of them are from Chicago, so I think they've been out there with a lot of the top guys, and they're used to it. Great ball there from Granger, and Granger Lambropoulos go up 3-2, first set. Paddle Pro. For over 20 years, Paddle Pro is recognized as the industry
High
leader in
performance
paddle tennis.
never
Knowledge,
tasted this good. Chocolate, berries, cinnamon, agave.
Paddle
Fuel your body with the shot and the bar. Now available in a delicious.
What we're
Hard
talking
serve
about.
from Fraser, and there you see him kind of creating the transition for the team at the backboard. And that's a ball Granger's got to be really careful driving, Patty. Fraser is on top of the net looking to punish that very drive. He misses that one, but you just don't want to get involved in that battle with Tyler Fraser. He's one of the best in the country at it.
Doesn't he want you to hit certain balls at him, and he just plays cat and mouse and kind of reels you in to taking the shot that maybe you're not quite ready to make?
Whoa, what a rip from Landropoulos off of a tough, deep serve. Caught that ball perfectly. He is talented.
Okay, my point about no fear. Chicagoland, I mean, just phenomenal high level, incredible amount of depth at the, so many strong men's players. And they all believe that they can compete against anybody, which I love, and that's clearly the case out here, where, you know, as long as they've got that belief, that's gonna energize them and help them through a little bit of the battle fatigue they may be feeling after that 3-set semi.
So a little confusion at the net there as Morgan jumped in for a Fraser, caused him to miss the volley. And I really thought Landropoulos would be playing faster here, but he's very patient, hitting a lot of lobs, waiting for his opportunity. And that's a surprising miss from Granger on a pretty big point midway through the first set.
I think Lambropoulos out of that ad-court play in this match is going to be key, because I just think Fraser is just so good, and I think that these guys just can't make easy misses, and I know that, you know, they just have to extend points, and, you know, pace of play, we talk about it all the time, and I think the faster Lambo and Mitch go, it works against them. I do think they have to sort of try to put a million balls in play here in the early going.
Yeah, Fraser Morgan are one of the best fast teams in the country. Morgan misses that lob, overhead.
Who would be, in your opinion, the #1 team in the country?
Durant.
Durant Mitchell with their pace of play fast. I mean, whether they miss a point or make it, they maintain the exact same pace, and they just keep the match moving along.
It's 3 nicks in a row for Fraser. That one goes for an ace.
Did you ever hit one nick in your life? Because I've never have.
Maybe one. With a great return from Lambropoulos.
Yeah, really fun to watch him move so gracefully into that shot.
I just don't want to feed that ball to Tyler Fraser off the deck like that. You got to be smarter with your overheads.
If you do hit an overhead that might be maybe not one of our top 3 choices, the guy up at the net's got to hold his ground. He's got to bend his knees and try to absorb the pace of that shot. If you're backing up just a tiny bit or drop that paddle head a little bit, you're dead. You're going to pop the ball out.
Yeah, they had 15-30 that game. A couple of bad decisions from Granger. Just think, you know, you talk about margins with matches like this. The Frazier-Morgan margin is much greater. Lots more ways for them to win this match.
So how are Granger and Lampropoulos going to win this match, Mark? What do they have to do?
They got to play smart and not miss overheads like that. I mean, I just don't think they can afford to give much away.
I kind of feel like Frazier gets away with, he'll make some shots and make some loose errors on his overheads or whatever, kind of having fun with his wide array of a shot selection that he gets to choose from. And he seems to get away with it and still come out on top, where I just don't think these guys, I don't think Mitch and Alex are going to get away with, you know, they can't afford 3 loose errors, you know, to win a set against these guys. I don't think.
And you also have to think that the first set is much more important for Granger and Lampropoulos, just in terms of energy levels. This is a little bit of what we were talking about. Frazier and Morgan can play fast, they can play slow.
And I think they enjoy both equally, Mark. You know, sometimes teams like, oh, we like to play this, oh, we don't like to play that team. They do this, this, this. I kind of feel like Frazier and Morgan embrace whatever style, you know, is needed for them to win the match.
Watch it, watch it. Come on, partner, let's go. Love, 30.
Yeah, that was a tough ball. Not that he can't pull it off, but how many times did he make that, Patty? 5 out of 10? 4 out of 10?
A tough time in the match to try, actually, I think.
Yep.
Only because, like we said, they just cannot afford too many unforced errors here.
A break on the lead cord there. And that's the overhead they've got to stay away from. See Frazier trying to lob down the line. Push Lampropoulos back. And when Granger goes all the way over there, he's got to go a long way to recover if he doesn't hit a good overhead.
Morgan pounds the ball. You say he drives more than anyone in the country. He also lobs as well. I mean, his placement on his lobs is so significant for his team's success, I think.
Great point here. All 4 guys are playing.
You see Granger really covering a huge amount of the court here. How tall is he, Mark?
6'2½", maybe 6'2 3/4".
So that strategy can work for him, for the person to the left to come that far over. You got the, if you got the height and the racket skills, you can do it.
Just puts a lot of pressure on his overheads. That's what I'm talking about. That's just a long way to travel. Bails himself out with a great volley there. When he comes that far to his right, and Morgan's looking to find his alley with his drive. Very tough volley to make on a consistent basis.
Right, and the person, when I watch Frazier, that's what always amazes me when he does do the coverage. You know, he seems to come up with those those unbelievable volleys coming back for the next shot after he's gone way over to cover a lob. And you know, that's really tough to do over time. And as a match goes on, you just get worn out, Mark.
Okay, so there's our first break of serve. At love, no less. You wonder if Fraser Morgan to grab hold of the match right now.
Shout out to Arlene Farmer and Midnight Paddles, Mo Morrison. They're enjoying the action right there at Birchwood. I think they're clinking some wine glasses right now, enjoying the action here. Said the event was a great event. I think it lucked out weather-wise. I think yesterday was their brutally cold day. Northeast got it today, minus 17 in the Adirondacks this morning. But I think it's a perfect day at Birchwood for this event. Kudos to Adam Morgan and all his work to pull this off.
Switching balls after 7 games, as we do in all the ATP Tour events. And Morgan to serve. Mitch Granger. Baked us out there, Patty, didn't he?
He did.
Okay, this one counts. Fraser got caught, transition a little bit. Morgan misses another lob. You don't see him miss too many lobs. Big moment in the match right here for Granger Lambropoulos. They really need this game. I don't know if they can afford to lose the first set. Boy, great backhand from Lambropoulos.
Oh, that was sweet. So impressed by Lambropoulos and Granger's play early in this match. I just thought after that grueling 3-setter, I just didn't think they would have the bounce, and they've got bounce and then some here. Just awesome start.
I'm going to go with good start, not awesome, down a break.
And I think it's pretty awesome to be a 3-4 against the number 5 team in the country. I mean, they're right up there, Mark. What's their current national ranking? I think they're in the top 10. I think they're number 10 in the country.
Another long grinding point here. Oh, you can see Lambropoulos wishing that ball in.
Shout out to Matt Delaney, Marstown Field Club. Great guy. Enjoying the live streaming. Especially enjoys listening to you, Mark.
Doesn't show great taste, Patty.
I'm only kidding. He said he liked listening to me, Mark.
That makes more sense to me. I was kind of wondering about the guy.
That's how nice he is. Bobo Delaney's brother-in-law. Hall of Famer. Bobo might be catching the action. She's out on the ski slopes in Salt Lake City this week. She's on an extended vacation, I'll call it.
You ever hear the story when Tim Mangan and Frank Delaney beat Bobo and Tonya at a Thanksgiving Day match?
Oh, yes.
Bobo and Tonya drove off and left them there, took the car and went home. Anybody named Mangan is a serious competitor.
Oh, my Lord, true.
But this is some point. Oh, Morgan jumped in front and Fraser never saw the ball. Great action from Granger Lambropoulos there.
Lob 30.
Blue 30, chance to get back on serve here.
Go.
And there Fraser gets beaten in transition. That was not a great decision to drive that ball. There's that offensive volley we talk about. Great dig, though, from Lambropoulos.
Mark, great news. I just found a viewer who loves listening to your commentating. Kevin and Liz Landy are enjoying the action from Chatham, New Jersey.
Oh, I thought you were going to say my wife, Ann Rhodes. 4-0. Great bounce back from Granger Lambropoulos there.
Granger and Lambropoulos are doing exactly what they have to do to win this match. I'm not surprised or anything. I'm just really in awe of their ability to come back and playing at such a high level following that grueling 3-setter. At the end of the day.
Especially given all the injuries that Alex Lambropoulos has had.
Well, Mike Raleigh has taught these guys everything he's ever learned in this sport. No better coach.
Bunch of misses from Morgan all of a sudden.
It's a bunch, Mark.
3 or 4.
Okay. I was thinking about this, and if you're Fraser Morgan, Adams home club, you feel any pressure in this match, Mark? What do you think? Do you think
Absolutely.
you feel it? Yeah, that's what I think.
And the deeper it goes, the more you feel it. All. See there, Lambropoulos is a little bit late sliding to his right and hits the volley on the move and misses it.
You know, Morgan had that return at a key point in your semifinal match. I heard you calling with Dave Broderick, and I think Dave pointed out how Adam Morgan holds that shot a little bit, and he almost waits till he sees the movement from the net guy, and then it looks like a routine shot up the line can actually force a volley error. You saw Lambropoulos making a little move to the middle, and I think that's one of the things why Adam Morgan is exceptional. Be curious to see how Tyler Frazier inserts himself into here. I don't feel like that much is coming his way over there in that ad court in this first set.
There he inserts himself just as you speak, taking the backhand off the deck, forcing the error, and they'll serve for the first set at 5-4.
I think like the mentality, if you're Granger Lambropoulos and you're hitting overhead after overhead and overhead, you know, do you challenge Frazier because he'll pull the trigger, or you know, are you willing to ride out the tenacity that Morgan just presents every single shot that he plays?
Fine line. I think it's both. I think it's challenging him when he's deeper in the court. I mean, there he was right in the baseline, and that's his bread and butter. That backhand has got such a short backswing. It doesn't come much further back than his waist. The ball's coming back at you so fast.
Durant-like.
Nothing is quite Durant-like.
Well, hit Durant's forehand. It was. I always feel like the ball comes off his paddle and boom, like you blink and the ball's already through the other team.
Ooh, comes fast. Okay, Tyler Frazier to serve for the first set, 5-4. Great lob from Morgan.
once again, Mark, you see, as you see with all the top teams in the country, each team really has their preferred guy to be a guy hitting more of the overheads to the left of our screen where we see Mitch Granger, and they'll put the guy who they want on top of the net. Really try to defend the net, pick off some of those drives, be a little bit more of the volley guy up there. And, all the top teams, I don't know how many years we've seen that, probably like the last 10, 15 years. Used to be people just hang out. A lot of times club level, I see people will just serve and play out the points, and whatever side they end up on at the net, they'll end up on, where I think, tactically, as you get better in this game, you learn the advantages of putting your teams and your players in the best positions for your team to defend what the other team is doing.
There you see it again, where Frazier's on top of the net. You cannot drive that ball. And there he pegs Lambropoulos, and that's 100% on Mitch Granger. He's got to know better than that. Big moment in the match. You cannot afford to make a mental error. I'm really impressed with Lambropoulos back hit. Misses that one. Those are the donations you've got to take advantage of. 15 all.
Yeah.
Boy, that ball just hung on the side wire.
It was a great shot of Granger just kind of waiting, and it didn't come out, and then boom, it just took off. They're phenomenal serve, all that pace, spin, and depth.
This is the moment of the match where you got to be super smart and go with only your best. No donations, no mental mistakes.
You mean you have to play the score, Mark? No
Shocking.
experimenting. No experimenting going on right now.
And you see all four guys playing it very conservatively right now.
For the most part, the game changes, but it always comes back to the same. In pressure points, no one wants to be the guy who misses for the guest.
Now let it go.
Great blitz, and you heard it. Adam Morgan let it go. He had no business trying to make that volley. He's backing up 3 feet behind the service line. What looks like a physical error is really a mental error, because he can play that ball off the back wires. He's so quick. He's going to track down anything.
Can I debate you on that comment? I think he
Sure.
was screwed. I think he had no shot to get that ball off the screen. I think Lambo just kind of took a lot off it, covered the ball with tremendous amount of topspin, and that ball was just going to die. I think Adam didn't. Second stab.
Yeah,
I rest my case with the jury, Mark.
You might be right. And there's that transition play that Frazier draws you into, where you're returning serve, and all of a sudden you're the one who's got to hit the transition volley coming forward. Great transition ball.
Oh, what a close by Granger.
Great point. And then we saw the flip side where Morgan drove a ball with Frazier out of position, and they ended up losing the point because of it. Frazier dug the first one, but that's a ball that has to go up in the air and give him a chance to get back into position. Point for 5 all. Great action, Patty.
Really great. Great night from Birchwood.
Another great return from Lambropoulos. Yeah, Morgan hit the hard over there, head there kind of early in the point. I don't think it was the right shot at the right time. Haven't seen any cut overheads from Frazier last 5-6 games.
Up and kudos to Granger, Lambropoulos. They're not, their lobbing is really effective here. And Frazier just hasn't gotten that many great looks. He hit that one cutter on a really short lob. We just haven't seen that many of them.
Wow. Shocking missed volley there from Frazier. Takes us to 5 all. Love the resilience from Granger Lambropoulos.
So impressive. That's a great call, Mark.
And again, Morgan tries to make the volley backing up. You either got to stand your ground or retreat and let the ball through. Sensing a little bit of impatience from Frazier Morgan. $30 love.
You sensed accurately, Mark.
Oh, what a half volley. Lambropoulos.
I'd love to see them challenge Morgan right here, not Frazier. Just right here in this moment with what's going on, and Morgan kind of rushed that shot, dumped that forehand in the bottom of the net.
There's the one again. Frazier is so fast getting to the net, you cannot drive the ball that comes through like that. He just punishes you.
Oh, bummer.
So the shoulders drop from Lambropoulos as the chair umpire confirmed the out call. 30 all.
He plays such a clean first set. You hate to see that.
Great serve there.
Oh.
Let's go.
Seemed like he was really undecided on that shot. Didn't really swing at that ball. Awfully far off the net to hit the cut overhead.
Yeah, and he just found himself a little bit too close to Lambropoulos' side right there, and probably just had to slice that ball right into the body of Frazier there in the ad court instead of going toward that side screen.
Boy, Frazier cannot believe he missed that lob, and that takes us back to deuce. Big miss right there. Seen a couple of really surprising misses from Tyler Frazier. Look at this, a switch in the backcourt from Frazier Morgan. That's really interesting.
Coming that way. Right, come on.
Wow, another donation from Granger.
And Mark right there. People are like, why would they switch sides there? Why not? They can both play. They're both great players. Top of the game, they can play either side. It just sort of sometimes makes the guy think a little bit more. Just for 1 second, you just give him a different look. Can't, surprised it worked, but it worked right there.
Love seeing Lambropoulos lob that ball. Frazier was closing fast.
Love this angle out of the corner. You see all these screenshots these guys make. They make it look so easy because they know they're going to lob the ball no matter what. They just open up their paddle face and then just wait.
Great rip from Limbropoulos. Finds the right hip of Morgan. Back to deuce.
Let's go right here. Give me another.
But they are just... Limbropoulos is fun to watch. Very smooth, very fluid. Ball jumps off his paddle.
Does he remind you of anyone?
You?
I dream of that movement. You know who he reminds me of? A little bit of, out on that one, Max Leprevert, a little bit.
He's much taller than Max, though.
I have his movements, though. For some, I just feel a little similarity here.
There's the switch to the backboard again.
I've not seen Lampropoulos play that many matches ever, so if he played a lot like Leprevert, that would be awesome.
National semifinalist in 2016.
Coming that way. Ah.
Great close from Granger.
Kind of like the play from Fraser Morgan with Morgan over there. I mean, he's not looking for offense. He's just over there to defend the wall for the most part. There, he pulled the trigger. I thought if he just played defense, that could be real helpful for them right now.
And I think that goes to the pressure they're feeling right now from Granger Limbropoulos. These are the points that determine who win and lose platform matches. Being able to close out games so hard. Got to be really smart here. Another great backhand. Snuck that one past Fraser, who was on top of the net.
Just a perfect spot off his right side.
And great discipline by Fraser to let that ball through. That ball couldn't have been more than, I don't know, 8-10 inches from his body.
You won't see Fraser kind of flipping his paddle over. If he's committed to the backhand, I rarely see him flip his paddle to a forehand.
Now it's Granger Limbropoulos who are really doing a good job with their lobs, moving them around. And Fraser with another careless overhead, and they'll serve to stay in the first set at 5-6.
Unbelievable, Mark. I mean, Fraser, I mean, he's a nice guy, but I've never seen him miss. Has he missed like 5 or 6 cutters, overheads?
Yeah, yeah.
In the first set, that's amazing to me. I just never see that.
Yeah, I think it goes to the pressure they're putting on him. They're not donating very much, making him play every point.
Morgan's ready. I love this. He
Always
just
ready.
gets out there. He is always ready. He's just out there. He's in his head. He's just so all over this. He can't wait to serve this ball. I wonder if purposely the guys are taking a little more time out of the court right here at 6-5. Not for nothing, but I think it's an interesting time for a little bit of a breather. Are there timeouts in paddle, Mark? Maybe there should be.
There or not, but control your own pace of play. Great first set, Betty.
Really good, really entertaining paddles. So psyched that Mitch and Alex came to play this match. I knew this was a tall task, and they have, you know, they're just right there, and they're put themselves in a position to win this event.
Yep. And you can see how tournament tough Mitch Granger is. He's played a lot of tournaments and a lot of traveling to the East Coast. Playing really well, and right now they're just really buckling down and not giving anything away. A great off-pace drive. But again, there's the ball that's through, and Frazier's on top of the net.
It's almost like you would tell anybody playing against Frazier, just resist. In transition, resist and throw up a lob no matter what.
Yep, 100%. Oh, gets away with that one. Frazier was looking to put that volley away too. Just a few more errors than you'd come to expect from both Frazier and Morgan. 15 all. Morgan way off the net.
See how low he got to make that volley? That was cool.
That's a great transition play. Ah, he reaches for that ball. You got to let that ball through. Lambropoulos was there. 30-15. That's where the discipline comes about, is just trusting your partner. Boy, Frazier moves at the net as much as anybody in the country who's not named Durant. Point for a tiebreak. Boy, that is some great action right there. Wow, Frazier just buries that one in the net. One more point to get to the breaker. Love how Granger and Lambropoulos are playing right now. You see Granger pulling on his top bot sneakers, stretching the legs out. Wonder if there's some cramping going on.
Hey, that was a hell of a lob over a guy who's 6'2".
Yeah, who didn't get off the ground very far there. Okay, we'll play a tiebreak for the first set. It's 2 balls in a row, Patty. He didn't really move for. Again, you see him stretching.
See,
There's the quad.
he's in trouble. He's hurting. You can see his movement all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't see that again with a guy that tall. 2 shots right off the top of his paddle.
Who's been
Something
moving
going.
so well the whole match, and you can see him kind of rubbing it a little bit. Walking very gingerly right now. I'll have to keep a close eye on that.
And Frazier Morgan, whatever was going on, they're the ones relieved that this thing is in a tiebreaker, personally, I think. And now I feel like they're going to be much looser playing this tiebreaker.
Guess that's a new ball they've got. I guess the other ball just flew off. They didn't bother chase it.
Granger was definitely not going to chase it.
He's got to lob that ball. Just going too far to try and drive it.
3 errors in a row from Granger. Real dangerous. He's got to keep it together right here.
Boy, some great serving, Tyler Frazier. Man, he beats him with the cutter in the corner, and all of a sudden it's like the air's gone out of the balloon for Granger Lambropoulos. These are some.
Yeah, air went out of a couple balloons today, Mark.
Okay. Love 3 in the breaker. Great spot from Morgan. Finds the right hip of Lambropoulos, and it's 4-love in the breaker. Yeah, it's funny. We were worried about Lambropoulos' physical condition. It's Granger the one who's cramping. Maybe Mike Raleigh was right.
go.
Mark, he's always right 50% of the time.
And don't think for a moment that Fraser Morgan didn't recognize that cramping over there. Oh, on top of the net, misses the volley. Great drive by Lambropoulos.
Don't you feel like Fraser Morgan are a little looser here, Mark?
Yep. Well, I mean, don't you love when you look across the net and you see your opponent's cramping, he's stretching his legs?
Especially if they're 6'2".
Or if they're 5'2". Not that you ever cramped. Not that you're 5'2".
True, true.
Great lob. Boy, a lot of movement at the net, but Granger Lambropoulos survived it. Whoa. Morgan takes that one off the back wires in the fly. And all of a sudden, it's like they've got a second wind here.
That's a little surprising right there that Adam pulled the trigger right there. Hit the back screen.
Yep, I agree.
That was a gift.
Oh, what an exchange.
That was that short backswing on that backhand, two-handed backhand. He just held the shot, pulled it cross court.
Great
Really
play,
cool.
Lambropoulos. They're back on serve. And you wonder if that's got something to do with the legs. Him shaking them out again. Just that serve puts a lot of pressure on your legs to get up for it, especially the way Granger serves. I expect to see a long grinding point from Morgan Fraser here. A little bit too aggressive, coming all the way across the court to try and make that volley. And we have 3 set points for Fraser Morgan.
I think he was trying to cover for his buddy right there, Mark.
Yeah, just so little separates winning and losing these sets, Patty Hogan.
Yep.
Tyler Fraser just firing them in. We haven't seen him miss one. Fraser faking the blitz. Great slide there by Granger, getting himself in position for only backhand volleys. Got caught a little closer to the center of the court there. He's got to be careful. Morgan is looking for that right hip.
I go. All in her.
Okay, so this is the first time we've seen Granger after hit a bunch of overheads since he looked like he was starting to cramp. See if he's up for it physically. Yeah, there they drive him to the middle and then go right behind him again. Well, this is a great point. Tyler Fraser had a chance to really go after that, and he missed. He didn't hit it, and then he misses the forehand. That's 1 set point saved. Great action. 6-4. Fraser's looking for the nick on that serve. He hasn't found one on the left court yet. Let's see if he can find one here at a big point. Haven't seen him fault the whole match. Another great serve. Wow. Aggressive play going for a putt. Boy, just really questionable shot selection there by Frazier. 2 set points gone. 5, 6. This is great tiebreak.
Yeah. Yeah. You.
Hard overhead from Granger, just dumping that soft ball in. Frazier forehand. Again, Frazier Morgan playing very conservative. There's several balls they could have driven this point that have not. This one's coming. Oh, great volley from Granger. Oh, what a shot from Granger. Set point down. He hits a backhand cut winner that comes back over the net to get to 6-all. Oh, that is just as gutsy as it is talented. That is a serious highlight film shot at that moment of the match. Great volleying, great positional volleying there from Rachel Lambropoulos. Frazier looking for the blitz. And there he blitzes and misses it, and it's set point for Granger Lambropoulos, 7-6. Great comeback from these guys. Now can they put the set away? Great lob. Smart lob again from Granger. Do not get caught in that battle. That transition battle with Frazier. Great lobbing from Lindropoulos. He's really pushing Frazier over further and further. Look where he is that time, in the alley almost, on the opposite side. Misses the volley. Game in first set. Granger Lambropoulos, some tremendous action. Okay, I'll be right back here in a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by CPTC.
High performance never tasted this good. Chocolate, berries, cinnamon, agave. Fuel your body with the shot and the bar. Now available in a deliciously energizing power pack. See how much farther you can go with Remedy Plus.
Okay, welcome back to the APTA Tour presented by Remedy Plus. Just finished the first set of this final match between our number 1 and 2 seeds, Fraser Morgan, Granger Lambropoulos. And against all odds, Granger Lambropoulos down. Fraser Morgan served for the first set, down 4-love in the breaker, down 6-3 in the breaker. Come back and win it 8-6. Just a remarkable effort, a gutsy comeback. And that's got to make them feel a little less physically tired. Finish line is now in sight. Only one set to go for them to claim the championship here at Birchwood. Patty Hogan is having some technical problems. But for those of you who know Patty, knows she's never been quiet this long before, so you probably guessed that already. But it's just some great action here. Fun match. Back and forth they went. All 4 guys taking a break. Really a physically demanding first set. Have to keep an eye on Mitch Granger and see how he's doing physically. So several signs he was cramping, stretching out the hamstring, stretching out the quads. The women are waiting to go on for their final match. Could be a late night here at Birchwood. Karen Nedjelek, APTA Midwest Tour Director, does such a terrific job. Bringing out some new balls for our chair umpire. It's really one of the best sets of paddle I think we've seen all season. Great action back and forth, and the shot that Granger pulled off down set point at 5-6, that backhand cut was reminiscent of Juan Araya. Saved a set point. Morgan was there, but the ball just jumped back over the net. He couldn't reach it. Really remarkable. You could kind of see Fraser Morgan pressing a little bit as the set went on. I was really surprised to see them switch in the backcourt. It's unusual for them. Not that they can't play both sides, but it was just an indication that they weren't real comfortable with what was going on the court. Okay, we got 3 of the 4 guys back.
Mark?
Tyler, I hear Patty Hogan.
Who's there now, Mark and Dave, or just Mark?
I can't speak for Dave. I can only speak for Mark.
Oh, I was just trying to get Dave to cover. I had a little internet issue here, and I'm sorry, Mark.
Well, you missed a tremendous end to the first set, Patty Hogan, but welcome back. We missed you. I was just saying, for those people who knew you, they didn't hear you speak for like 10 minutes. They must have known there was technical problems, because I'd never heard you not speak for 10 minutes before.
Have you spoken to my husband about this? Hey, Mark,
Okay.
I don't know what your summation was of that first set. I just
Wow,
thought.
my summation was wow, Patty.
Can we talk about it for a second, or have you covered it?
Always happy to talk about it again, but here we go to start the second set. Adam Morgan to serve to Mitch Granger.
Mark, I thought so little separated these teams in that first set, and I felt that, in transition, I just felt that Mitch and, Alex got kind of lulled in by Fraser at a few key points, and I would have just loved for them to have resisted going for it in the transition. And I mean, very little separation. What did you see, Mark?
The shot that Granger pulled off at 5-6 in the down set point, where he hit the backhand volley that bounced back over the net, was incredible. Worried a little bit about their physical aspect and the possible cramping, but man, it was just a great set of paddle. Lambropoulos is really impressive. And as I was saying in between sets, Patty, you now see they can see the finish line. It's one set to go. That's got to give them a boost of energy. To win that set, 5-3 down, 4-love in the breaker, 6-3 in the breaker, closing, winning the last 5 points. Tremendous action. And I don't sense any impatience from them whatsoever.
I mean, I love it. I love to see this. A lot of paddle tournaments are fairly predictable. A higher seeded team comes out, so I love it when you have a situation like this where all of a sudden these guys have a legitimate shot. Take out the number 5 team in the country, and I just think if Granger can resist. Like, don't play cat and mouse. Don't let Fraser sucker you into some of those transition shots. They could have some separation here in this set.
Well, here's where you have to wonder about Fraser Morgan's confidence after getting smoked last week in Boston. You know, are they a little shaken?
Or stirred, Mark.
Or stirred? Stirred would be better than shaken. They played that set a little bit shaken, Patty. You know, the switch in the backcourt was kind of a surprising move for me. So some careless overheads from Tyler Frazier. He's got one of the best overheads in the country. Morgan was kind of forcing it a little bit at times. But all credit to Granger Lambropoulos. Misses that one. And again, you see Granger, you know, with the legs kind of pulling him up, stretching him a little bit.
Coach Riley is so pumped at these guys' performance out here in that first set. He's been working on a couple of things. He's been working on trying to get Granger to step into the court when he hits his drive. And he likes them switching in the backcourt to all of a sudden present Lambo's awesome two-handed backhand in the middle just to shake things up, give their opponents a different look on their overhead scheme.
Great recovery from Granger. Still jumping around the court. Lambropoulos was there, just misses it.
40, love. Game, Fraser Morgan, they lead the second set, 1 love. Granger Lambropoulos won the first.
Hey, Mark. I
Hey,
remember
Patty.
a match. Hey, Mark. Hey, I remember a match. Morgan Fraser played Philly. What match stands out as one of their greatest matches played? Anything stand out for you?
The loss to Durant Mitchell in 3 sets.
What a match. That's what I was just thinking about. And
Yeah, what stands out for me is if their confidence got shaken in Boston. We talked about it before the match started. I mean, that was as serious a beatdown as I've seen a good team take in a match that they were absolutely trying their hardest in a long, long time. I mean, that match was 2 and 2-love, and it wasn't that close. So I'm just wondering whether that kind of got into their heads, because I'm sure they went into Boston expecting to win the tournament. That's a great job staying to the point from Granger Lambropoulos. Nope.
Mark, one thing I just saw with Lambropoulos and Granger there in that point, they were both dropping back kind of together, so their wall just kind of backed up, and they were able, you know, to offset the first shot and just kind of a loose lobbing error there, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like the two of them dropping back together. Obviously, one staying up and one dropping back. But, you know, athletically, they were able to overcome that.
Well, I think Lambropoulos kind of felt Granger dropping, so I think he went with him, and I think the ball was at a height that they were going to be okay with it. I don't know.
Well, they've lost the first 5 points of the second set. They do not want to let the train get rolling on the other side and get these guys' confidence back. I love how Granger and Lambropoulos are volleying. Granger's got to be careful on those deep overheads, not trying to hit too much spin. All he can do is jump that ball softly to the Frazier forehand, it'll be okay.
Just wonder also if they might not switch the other way and let Lambropoulos take some of the overheads. I mean, I know he's struggled in the earlier match, but he seems like he's moving really well here. Granger's struggling a little bit with this movement. Maybe switch that up a tiny bit.
See if Granger Lambropoulos try and switch back to their customary sides. Don't seem to have much interest right now. And eventually Granger gets beaten with the spin. I'd like to see them get back to the sides they're on. Granger doesn't look quite that comfortable in the backhand corner. That's 6 points in order to start the second set. Two straight faults.
It's got a feeling, Mark, right now that this thing could go fast for Morgan Fraser. Just kind of feels that way right now. I feel like a little bit of, all right, these guys played a phenomenal first set, gave it everything they had, and right now I feel like they're searching a little bit.
Great serve there from Fraser. Catches 3 wires. That's, yeah, going fast right now. It's 10 consecutive points to open the set. 30-love. See more stretching from Granger. Still hopping around. That's the first ball we've seen Granger cut off of the Fraser serve. That's a smart play. I mean, you're giving up your offense, but you got to defend against that nick. You catch Granger with the hard overhead, and it's 40-love.
Yeah, I picked up that Granger was really kind of stuck on the baseline, and his mobility is limited. There's no way he could go run that shot down.
Which, of course, he didn't have to do after he got hit by it. Boy, Lambropoulos is fun to watch. So smooth. Le Pavard-esque.
Totally. You're believing it. You're seeing it now, Mark.
Yeah, there he's trying to make a volley from 2 feet behind the service line.
Max would have made that.
First set was how long, Patty? An hour? Hour 10?
Yeah, this is going fast here.
That's
and
3-love, second set.
Oh my gosh, you just feel for these guys. They're just putting everything in it, and basically, you know, the question when we came on the air, could they hold up?
You wonder how long they'll hang in the second set if they continue to get down. If they'll just write it off and come back for the third. And just a reminder, we have the women's final to follow, which should be a terrific match.
Oh, I think it's going to be a great match Saturday night. You know, people used to go to the movies before COVID. Now, thanks to the APTA and all the live streaming, we get to watch paddle on Saturday nights.
Morgan Sikora coming off of their final performance. Boston. Played against Cruz and Guillot.
Yeah, Morgan Sikora have just crushed this tournament. I think they've lost 4 games getting into the finals. Cruz and Guillot had a pretty good battle to get into the semis. They had a quarterfinal matchup that was pretty tough. So I think that'll be really fun following the men's final. It may be in a couple hours.
Okay, so it's 3-love. That's 12 consecutive points for Fraser Morgan to start the set. Can't go much faster than that. Okay, apparently we're going to begin the women's final, the secondary court, with no commentating. So if you want to watch that match, just tune into the APTA side court. Oh, that ball is going way out. Fraser couldn't avoid it, playing so close to the net.
I think it's a good call to get that women's match started. Unfortunately, we might not be able to call the match, but they'll definitely be scoring on it, and you'll hear the umpire because this match could go for a while.
Dig by Fraser there.
I mean, I love this play with Lambropoulos kind of taking on Fraser.
Right now, Fraser Morgan are giving him nothing. Great drive for Morgan there. And your Granger Lambropoulos, you're beginning to wonder if you're going to win a point. So they win the last 5 points of the tiebreak from 6-3 down to win the set. Stunning turnaround. And now they've lost the first 14 points in a row of this set. Make that 15.
That would be platform tennis, Mark. We've seen it all.
Wow.
You know, if you're Lampropoulos and Granger right now, it's like, what are they hoping for, Mark? They're hoping to claw back in this set. They're kind of hoping
They're
that
on the
either
board.
way, it goes faster, possibly.
Yeah, I was wondering if they get down 4-5 love, they'll write the set off, but too early to do that.
Yeah, just not maybe as interested in playing really long points.
But if you're not interested in playing really long points, you're going to be coming up on the short end of the points.
Exactly.
Right now, I see no difference in their play.
Mark, quick shout out to Arlene, Laura, and Kathleen. Laura and Kathleen played in the women's event today. 3 players from the Hinsdale area enjoying the live stream action.
And let me guess, they love your commentary?
They said once again, especially love it when you talk.
Oh, great overhead catches the Nickens back to 40-30. Gotta love the fight in these guys. Have to be exhausted, just fighting, grinding every point. Yeah, those hard overheads will beat you every time when they come off the back wire like that. Adam Morgan eats those up, and that's 4 love.
Uh-oh. You know you're in trouble when Morgan does that bicep fist pump.
Was it a bicep? I couldn't tell.
Whatever it was, Mark. Morgan, we know he's just a ferocious competitor out there at all times. And when you see that, you know he's feeling it. And clearly things are coming a little bit easier in the second set for Fraser Morgan, to say the least.
See a lot of driving right here from Granger Lambropoulos, although there's a lob return.
Right, and that's what I thought they would do. Maybe just go and try to drive and shorten the points just a tad. Try to shorten them. Try to get lucky, let cords, something like that.
I think it's 30-15. Okay, looks like all 4 players are comfortable with the score.
All 4 players and the umpires agree, and the umpire agrees, Mark. That's a good thing.
Again, you see Frazier right on top of that net. I can't help but think that Granger Lambropoulos would be better off kind of writing this set off, Patty. Just don't know how much energy they've got left. It's certainly possible they can win the set, but from 4-love, 30-15 down, I don't think they're going to win it too many times against a team of the quality of Frazier Morgan. Boy, I am tired just watching Granger walk around the court.
Yeah, that looked a little painful, that shot.
Yeah, didn't it? 2 points for 5-love.
I wonder what Coach Raleigh would be saying to him right now. Maybe Mike can shoot us a text and give us some insights.
Fusion, a proud partner to the APTA. Fusion curates what's next in branded gear and apparel for your company, your team, your event.
High performance
Team of dedicated
never tasted this good. Chocolate, berries, cinnamon, agave. Fuel your body with the shot and the bar. Now available in a deliciously energizing power pack. See how much farther you...
A little bit like letting go of the rope, Patty.
It did.
Which I think makes sense. I mean, I think they got to get to the third. From 5-love down, how often are they going to win this set? I just don't think they should be expending too much energy here. This is one of those cases where you're Frazier Morgan, you're very happy to play long points and just kind of grind. And that's what I expected to see more of from Granger Lambropoulos. Try and win some points, just end the point. Let's get to the third.
Mark, we never like to see anybody tank. We like them to put a little bit of a fight and just, you never know if you get lucky.
Yeah,
You might get lucky, but they have nothing physically left in their tank right now.
It's not about tanking to me. It's about saving it for the third set. Tanking is when you give up on a match. Nothing wrong with giving up on a set after the long day they've had. And I just think they're wasting energy here trying to compete in this set, which they're going to win. I mean, how often are they going to win a set from 5-love down against Frazier Morgan? Well, 1 out of 20, 1 out of 50?
Yeah. But you know, I'm a purist, Mark. I would never bail. I'd go for the 1 in 50 shot.
Yeah, I am not a purist.
Better than that.
Great ball there. If they hadn't played a 3-hour plus semi, I'd feel differently about it.
Well, I just think every paddle match I've ever played, seen there's so many shifts in momentum. It's unlikely the shift in this set will go back to Granger Lambropoulos, but you never know, Mark.
Yeah,
That's why you
never
play.
know. Yeah, absolutely never know. I agree with that. I just don't know if the risk is worth the amount of energy they're going to use to get back into the set. And it looks like they're trying to end points now, which I like. And this is the reason I don't like one-day tournaments, Patty. It's just there's so much energy involved. How you do early in the day has too much impact on who wins the tournament, what kind of draw people get. And we've seen our sport go away from these one-day events.
Help.
Got a text from Randy Lofgren who says, going for the 1 in 50 hurts them by more than 2% in the third. I think that's a perfect description.
I think it hurts them by 70% personally.
Yeah, well, that's the reason I just don't think they can afford to play these points down 5-love.
just think there could be young people watching this match, Mark, and I would never want them to think you go in the tank.
But you're looking to win the war. You're not looking to win the battle.
No, I kind of feel like I'm in a debate with my lawyer husband right now, Mark, about this.
Does Sandy usually win most of your debates, Patty?
He an incredible amount. He does come out. He comes out ahead.
Okay, that's 30-all. 2 points from the set.
He's debated all his life as a profession, Mark.
I grew up in a house that did a lot of debating, so. And the beauty of it is there's no right or wrong answer. You could argue they should give up in the set, and they come back and win the set.
You ever come back from 5-0 down in a set, Mark?
I've never come back from 1-0 down in the set, Patty.
Have you ever won a set?
See, if I've never come back from 1-0.
I'm only kidding.
Great call there, Frazier.
I'd love to see Granger Lampropoulos get on the board in this set. Just a game, Mark. I'll be really happy with that.
Well, they've got a point here to do it. And you see, Lampropoulos is playing very aggressively, looking for that cut finish whenever he can to shorten the points.
I got you. No, come on. Shot.
Score is deuce.
I'm down 2 for that third. Come on, let's go. Right here.
I think Frazier Morgan are playing differently. Are they playing more patiently?
They're not missing, Mark. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, it seems to me they've kind of slowed it down even more, maybe sensing some of the tiredness on the other side of the net and looking to grind. It seems like they're
Absolutely
driving
agree.
fewer balls.
And if my opponents are hurting, making them lob and just move back up 3 steps for another lob, another lob. And that hurts a ton going into the third under these circumstances.
Yeah. And I think it's a really smart play from Frazier Morgan. I've seen Tyler Frazier pass up a couple of backhands that normally he hits. Not looking to blitz the backhand at all. There's a high forehand normally he swings at. He puts it back up in the air.
Right, why pull the trigger early? Just torture these guys. I think it's a masterful strategy by Frazier Morgan right now, Mark, personally, because what is left in the tanks of Lampropoulos and Granger, they're depleting. They're depleting it here with the length of these points right now.
But you would still want Granger Lampropoulos trying to win the set?
Are we back to that debate again?
I like that debate. I think it's a good debate. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I think they're just two sides to a coin.
It seems like you talk louder, so then you're more right. Is that right?
Definitely not.
I go.
I think if they're tanking, they should start playing lefty or do something like that, Mark. it's riding that that fine line here. And I don't think he hit it in the net on purpose, but he moved his grip a little bit at the last second there, maybe a last second decision. Really didn't have his legs under him for that shot, and error into the net.
Set point. Yeah, I think Granger had enough of that set. That was a good decision. So game in second set, Fraser Morgan 6-love. We'll be right back in a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by CPTC. Or maybe we're not going to commercial.
High performance never tasted this good. Chocolate, berries, cinnamon, agave. Fuel your body with the shot and the bar. Now available in a deliciously energizing power pack. See how much farther you can go with Remedy Plus.
Okay, welcome back to the APTA Tour presented by Remedy Plus. We're in the final set of the final match. Fraser Morgan, Granger Lambropoulos. Patty Hogan, what do you want to do now if you're Granger Lambropoulos other than win the first game of the third set?
Okay, so the first thing I would do is I would get a remedy bar. Then
Smart.
I would have a remedy drink. And then I would take as much time as you could possibly take in between the second and third set. You know, you see Fraser Morgan, they're out there, they're ready to go. They're in peak shape, and I mean, the set couldn't have gone better for them. And I really just think Granger Lambropoulos have to somehow really, truly get an energy bar. They need a boost of energy. Tactically, Mark, I'm not sure you have many tactical options when you feel like crap, when you're out there. And I just, you know, I don't mean to sound harsh, but I just think Lambropoulos was struggling come into this match after that semi. Granger kind of feeling it here big time in that second set. So I'm not sure, you know, what's left in their tank here.
Yeah, I don't know whether the long break is going to help them or hurt them. I mean, it just seems like you got to get out there and play.
Well, I'm just saying if they're hurting, I don't know.
I
maybe...
agree with you. I agree with you. I'm just saying right now, you can see they're taking a long time between the second and third set. I don't know whether that's going to help them or not. It's going to stiffen up. Yeah, they played a magnificent first set. Just all sorts of great answers. Gutsy comeback. Just really beautiful. And it just seemed like they're out of gas.
Yeah, so hopefully, you know, physically when you're hurt, it's brutal. Mentally when you're tired, it's brutal. The combination of both is brutal. So, you know, if they're hurt, and it's going to be really tough. Sometimes with exhaustion, you get to this last set of the tournament at the very end here, and somehow you can find, you know, you can hit that reserve tank. You think you don't have enough, you know, you don't have any gas in the tank, and somehow you can magically find some, you know, and these guys are such tough competitors. You know, I'm hoping for them they can find that reserve in themselves.
I mean, it goes without saying they absolutely have to get off to a good start to the set. They just can't afford to fall behind at this point.
Mark, team nationals coming up in April. We got a lot of national championships, it seems, coming up all over the place. New Jersey's proud. We're hosting the junior nationals. Drew Broderick's running the mixed nationals. Greg Morgan is heading up team nationals, working on getting some teams from, 2 teams coming down, Mark, from the they're going to be the Adirondack Green Mountain women who are forming a team. A lot of players from Saratoga Golf and Polo, Dorset Field Club, Ticonderoga, Paddle and Pickle. We've got Glens Falls Country Club. A lot of them are watching the action right now. Kudos and shout out to Mark and Sarah Mannix, new members of our facility who are loving the action, and in particular you, Mark, once again. Hearing it from you.
Here we go. Tyler Frazier to serve to start the 3rd and final set for the championship at Birchwood.
I'm feeling in my fear for Granger Lampropoulos is this might go really fast against them.
Well, we were worried about that at the beginning of the match, and obviously they played a terrific first set. Let's see if they get their 3rd or 4th wind. I think these first few points are just critical. And again, I expect to see Frazier Morgan playing very conservatively.
And people would think, like, why wouldn't they go for their shots? Well, their strategy of totally slowing down and making these guys just grind and back up, just those 2 or 3 steps, pull them wide on a volley, pull them wide on a lob, a little deep on the lob. You know, that's going to factor in. So that's why they're not putting their foot on the gas here, because when a team's hurting physically, there's no need to do that.
Couple of faults from Frazier, maybe the first 2 of the match. And it's love 40. This is just what the doctor ordered for Granger Lampropoulos.
Hey, nothing gives you energy like a couple game points against Tyler Frazier to start the 3rd set.
And they've got to win this game. They can't afford to lose a love 40 game to start the set. Great overhead by Morgan, finds the nick, and that's 2 saved. See if Lampropoulos goes after this one. He missed the last one. They've just got to put this ball in play. But his backhand is a tremendous shot.
I'm liking this. Lampropoulos staying on that left side. You know, he's got the energy. You see his movement much better than Granger's right now. Why not take the burden of handling any more of those lobs coming from Morgan and Frazier?
Yeah, we've seen him over there very little.
Help!
See how he dumped that little overhead when he was over there before the switch to Morgan's backhand? As we saw a lot from in your semifinal call of the match with Smith and Held. And I think that would serve them really well right now. Granger, with his height and stuff, he doesn't do that shot. He doesn't hit it as often as, you know, other people.
And there it is. They come out with the first game and stop the 6-game streak. Makes me much more optimistic. We're going to see a good competitive 3rd set. Surprising miss there from Tyler Frazier.
That was gigantic for these guys, Mark.
Yes, it was. Can't understate how important that was.
So real fast, Mark, I want to go back. Team Nationals in New Jersey. Greg Morgan's running it. Expecting something like 350 to 400 women who played last year in Chicago. They're coming to Jersey, and the Jersey hosted the men's last year. And all of those guys are going out to Chicago, where Coach Raleigh will be once again running the show out there. Team Nationals, great event for everybody, any level. Get a team, contact the APTA for more information. Signups are live online right now on the American Platform Tennis Association's website.
Now let's see
Mark,
if
do
the
you think-
scoreboard pressure. There's a miss from Granger. Go ahead, Patty.
Do you think I'm excited about Team Nationals?
Patty Hogan, you're excited about everything. It's one of the beauties of being involved with you.
Oh, I'm pumped. I just love the event, and Amin Kadiri's done a great job. And, you know, teams come in by their PTIs, but you can get a team of any of your friends as long as your range is fairly close, playing level-wise, and just
Wow,
a great weekend is in the works.
Couple of faults there, and all of a sudden, their game they worked so hard to win, they're just giving it right back. And as I said earlier, serving is hard when you're really tired like this and your legs are cramping.
Sam Byron from Baltimore enjoying the action. Great supporter behind the scenes, doing a lot of PTI-related stuff. Sam, we appreciate your efforts so much. Wow. Surprised he missed that, Mark.
Yeah, Morgan can't believe he missed that. That was just a sitter beforehand. Volley is wide, and it's 1-all. Boy, they worked so hard for that first game and then just gave the second game away. Just gotta stay ahead, stay close. Because that's the pressure's only going to increase on Fraser Morgan. But those are the misses they can't afford right now.
Now they feel like it's
Oh,
they're bringing it, but I just don't know if they can go and play at a high level and speed it up with hurting a little bit. And Morgan Fraser just looked like this is effortless. They're so fresh out here.
great rip from Morgan. This has not been a good changeover so far for Granger Lambropoulos.
Fraser Morgan, they lead the third set 2-1.
You know, Mark, I wonder when you're hurting physically, does it hurt you more from the baseline, the backcourt, or do you think it hurts more?
I think it
Your
hurts
net
more at the net.
coverage.
At the net coverage, you have to go up and back.
Love to see Lambropoulos take a lot of the overheads. I'd love to see him on the left side of the two players, just to change us up and get Granger a breather here. Just because Lambropoulos is just moving so well right now.
When you can see that service motion from Granger, that was not his normal service motion. Kind of abbreviated, didn't push off with his legs. Kind of arming the ball.
Yeah, hard to push off when you can't get that knee bend. There's no flex. You know the guy's in trouble.
Tyler Frazier is not going to be happy with that missed lob wide. I love that hard overhead there. That's going to speed up play and win some points, lose some points, but end some points. I just don't think they can afford to play an hours-long set with lots of long grinding points. Great forehand there. That's smart transition from Frazier, not getting beat. I think Frazier wanted Morgan to hit that ball.
That was clear. Very good communication.
And again, Frazier playing very conservatively. Morgan misses that one. I love that play from Granger. I think that's really smart. Earlier in the match, I wouldn't have said that because I don't think they want to play that transition style. But right now, I think it suits their physical needs.
Mark, the women's match is underway. You said on the other channel.
I did not say that. I'm told that that's true, but I don't know that it is. I cannot give you any confirmation of that. It looks like they've started. I actually tried to take a sneak peek at it, and it did not show on the YouTube channel. But that may have been because it hadn't started yet. Look at Granger. He's not even trying to move forward. He's standing on the service line. You know, if they can find their way through a couple of games, they get to 3-all, 4-all, all of a sudden, all bets are off.
In your knees, dude.
Couple of points for 2-all here. Just love the competitive spirit we're seeing from Granger and Ambropoulos. Up there you can see it in the top. Morgan Sikora at the net, far court, top of the screen.
Aha. Thanks, Mark.
I can now confirm it, Patty.
Excellent.
Another really important game for Granger and Ambropoulos. They're on the edge of the precipice here. They can't afford to let any of these games get away.
I'm thinking that 10-minute break in between second and third sets did them a hell of a lot of good, Mark.
For Granger to hit the hard overhead at Morgan when he gets a short one. Great recovery from Ambropoulos. He went a long way for that ball.
Yeah, I'm loving this move with Ambropoulos, you know, playing to the left of the team at the net and handling a lot of the lobs right here. And I think this would serve them really well to try to pull off this match.
Yeah, they always manage to switch back, though. Lob will go behind Granger's head, and Ambropoulos will hit it, and Granger will slide over to the left.
Well, I don't know who the captain of the team is, but I think this is a good strategy. And Mark, the reason why I love it is because I feel like Granger was putting a lot of effort into those spin overheads. Maybe that's the reason. But he was putting a lot of effort into those spin overheads, and, you know, he doesn't have much in the tank, and then use up all that energy, and Morgan and Frazier are never going to miss a screen anyway. That's tough.
Touches the seam. Great get from Frazier off to the seam there.
What a get from Morgan there.
Great dig from Frazier. Ambropoulos hit just a fantastic overhead. Great
There's
point
a
here.
lot of sound effects going on out here, Mark.
Yeah, a lot of grunting.
Just a huge moment in this match, and now it's got the feel of all even.
Absolutely.
I go. Help!
Might be the best match we've seen all year.
You.
Certainly a different kind of match.
Ah!
That is a loud grunt on a lob, Patty. I don't know if you're allowed to grunt that loud when you're lobbing the ball. Oh, great volley from Granger off the Frazier blitz. There's the hard overhead to Morgan again. He smartly lobs it back.
Help! 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 You.
And he misses that one. From Granger. If they're not going to drive that ball, then he can hit that shot with impunity. And Morgan fails to track that one down. Another point for 2-all. Great
Are you
stuff.
shocked? Are you shocked, Mark?
Nothing surprises me anymore. Not in this match. But they're hitting that hard overhead at Morgan, and he's lobbing it consistently. So that means there's no reason not to keep hitting it. Maybe they'll catch a seam or a nick, or hit him, or he'll miss the ball like he did last time. He didn't track it down. That's the danger of playing too conservatively.
Come on! Go! Bring it.
Ambropoulos can't believe he missed that one. Who do you like in the women's final, Patty?
I think Morgan and Sakura are on a roll here. They've played, is this their third season together, Mark, or
Yeah, I
second
think
season?
Third.
Third? They seem to be finding their, building their confidence. They had a big comeback win over Nicolescu and Anika in Boston. Gigantic. So I think that's got to be a huge confidence boost for them. And then, Guillaume and Cruz never played a tournament together, but both exceptional players. Cruz, couple-time national champ.
3.
Really, really close match.
Don't be shorting her national championship. Cruz, 3-time national champion.
3-time national championships. I apologize.
Go!
So my pick in the women's match?
Well, you have to pick Morgan Sakura now.
I'm not. I'm going Cruz Guillaume now. Now that I
Does
set
that
you
build up?
I set you up.
Well, Morgan
I
Sakura.
want them both to win, of course.
Morgan
it might-
Sakura up 4-2 first set.
It's just hard for me to ever bet against Liz Cruz.
Backhand from Morgan there takes them to break point.
Right here, T.
I'll tell you one thing. Granger and Ambropoulos are going to sleep well tonight, assuming they're not cramping.
All right, well, Mark, did you see the scoreboard? Morgan Sakura up 5-2.
5-2.
Oh, boy. great start for them.
I have to say, Patty Hogan, that was a great fake on who you were picking. On and on about how good Morgan Sikora were. It's a great year they've been having, building their confidence, and then you pick Cruz Gio.
I like to just kind of stir the pot a little bit, just put stuff out there.
Did not see that coming.
Yeah, that was a great comeback from them over Anika Lescu there.
Did they
Charlotte
lose
had
3 sets last week, 6-love, and still make the finals 3 in a row?
just an incredible tournament. Charlotte had Sikora had tweaked her back, went to the chiropractor a couple times this week, and feeling much better. And like I said, brimming with confidence. And they're a team that when they brim with confidence, they're a great team.
And you hear in the background Morgan Sikora win the first set 6-2. Which match do you think will be over sooner, Patty?
Wow, that's interesting, Mark.
That's the one. That's the one. Keep swinging.
This match. We're going to get to watch some of the women's final. I'm confident.
Oh, what a shot for Limbropoulos. Looked like he was absolutely dead. Great lob. Really want to see Granger go back to that hard overhead to Morgan. Had a lot of success with that.
Got to be able to load up with his legs, right, Mark, to hit that shot, to be so effective.
Yep.
If he can pull it off, it tells a lot. I mean, just what grit these guys have. Awesome to watch.
No, come on, let's go.
A lot of positive energy coming from Fraser Morgan.
And Limbropoulos was right there, just kind of came up on that volley just a tiny bit, just a little bit coming up, and just enough to take that volley slightly long.
So, Patty, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Who's a more fundamental paddle player, Allison or Adam Morgan?
That's a great question. Is there a right and wrong answer here? I just want to know before I start the debate.
Yes, there's a right and wrong answer.
Allison. What's your answer?
I agree.
Phew! I don't debate very well late in the night, so I'm glad we agree. She's a pure, you know, just so smooth, technically. Not that Adam isn't smooth. He just puts a lot more, it's just a whole different style of play.
Yeah, I don't think Adam is smooth. I think he's a great technical player, but I would not describe him as smooth by any stretch.
Had a little bit.
Lambropoulos is smooth.
Had a little bit smooth.
Lambropoulos is smooth. Okay,
You know,
3-1. That was an expensive game to lose.
Yeah, that was a tough game. You know what? I kind of like. I look at Labropoulos' movement, and it just seems when he's feeling well, it just seems like he glides around the court. You wouldn't call, you know, Morgan a glider around the court. Like his movements,
No.
you know, are much more involved.
Yes. He's much more of a self-made player.
You know, and the great thing about the sport of platform tennis is all different styles play this game their own way and can be equally as effective. And that's the great thing. You can be tall, you can be short, you can be a little overweight, you can be a little too skinny. It doesn't really matter. You find a way that works for you, and you stick with it, and it will become hugely effective. I just think not many people come out of the room with like that natural ability to glide around a court.
Yes, it's very unusual. I agree. We see it from Johan Durant, a couple others.
Well, there's so many exceptional athletes out here on the APTA tour, but there's definitely some who are head and shoulders, and you just watch them every second, and you just have to kind of, it's jaw-dropping how good they are.
Morgan catches the nick.
15, love.
And Granger looks really tired.
Must-have game right here? What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I think we're getting there.
Must-have for Granger Lampropoulos.
Come on back.
And again, you see how conservatively Tyler Frazier's playing. That's a transition ball he drives 9 times out of 10. There's the play. I really like that play. And I lose the point, but I think that's a great play.
Come on, nicer.
Morgan forgets that Frazier's serving.
30, love.
And again, Frazier passed up the opportunity to drive, Mark, because the lob is the effective technique that's slowing down play, that's letting them really dictate play in the third set.
See him switching back. We haven't seen any of the switch we saw in the first set. And Morgan Sikora win the first game of the second set. Keep baiting him. He's got to keep baiting him.
30, 15.
Mark, when I threw you a curve in my prediction for the women's final, I kind of was thinking Cruz and Guillot have not played a tournament together, and Guillot has not played that many tournaments lately, which
He's had some knee issues.
gave me a big question mark, and that's really why I kind of built that up, that I thought that this was possibly going to be Morgan Sikora's night.
And then pick Guillot. Cruz Guillot.
Exactly.
There he pegs. I guess that ball's long.
40, 30. Love, 15.
Morgan's looking at his paddle.
Yeah! Game, Frazier, Morgan. They lead the third set, 4 games to 1. Love, 30.
Yeah, you know, Frazier just had the Adam Morgan fist pump, Mark.
Well, you hear the score of the next court. Love 40 for Morgan Sikora. That one's going pretty fast.
So Guillot has, what are her knee? What's going on with her knee? I didn't know that.
She had some ligament issues in the knee. I think she had a minor procedure in November. That's why she missed Detroit. She had an issue with her MCL. It was a tear or a strain. But they won't go away. Cruz and Gio will fight to the end. Right now, they're making a lot of mistakes, though.
Yeah, Gio usually plays with Jacqueline Williamson. They made it to the semis last year in women's play, and I was really excited for their play this season. And hopefully they'll feel healthy and are playing together, you know, in March at Nationals.
Well, they won't be playing together at March at Nationals because Jacqueline Williamson is pregnant, and Jess is going to be playing with Alice Tunaro.
Excellent. Thanks, Mark, for all the updates. Hadn't heard that through the grapevine, so congrats to Jacqueline. She's a great player, great person.
Yep. Rangers moving slower and slower if that's possible. Misses the hard overhead. Came back over the net, would have lost the point anyway. And the water is going down the drain.
Yeah, he just didn't have his legs set under him right there. That was pure fatigue miss right there. Well, the question mark for you was the confidence with Fraser Morgan after that first set and after stomping that at the hands of Jerome Mitchell last week. I think kind of answering the call here in the second and third set. And
yeah, you know, I'm going to wait to hold off on that decision until I see them at Short Hills, Patty.
okay.
I mean, I just think that a lot of what's gone on the last half hour is more to do, 45 minutes, more to do with Granger Landropoulos' physical condition. And you've seen Fraser Morgan playing very conservatively, which was the absolute right thing to do. But I don't know that that means that they've got their confidence level back.
That'll help.
Yeah, but you see Granger's just, I mean, he's just trying to end points. He's exhausted at this point. That's 5-1. Really impressed with Granger Landropoulos. They've been a lot of fun to watch. Played really well. Granger looks like he's cramping now.
Yep, like we said, they've made it in the top 10 of the country, number 10 current ranking, and their future looks bright, especially with Coach Raleigh in their corner.
Yeah, I think they're going to be a fun team. Nationals, assuming they're playing. 30 love, 2 points from the match.
Don't tell me one of them's pregnant.
And that takes us to triple match point.
Miss my humor there, Mark. Now here we go, Morgan Fraser, almost a done deal.
I'd say it's about as close to being a done deal as it still is while they're playing.
I feel so badly for Granger here.
Yeah. The Fraser seems to be grunting louder than ever. Did he grunt on that overhead he didn't hit? Okay, it's game, set, match. Fraser Morgan, 6-7, 6 love, 6-1. Final thoughts, Patty?
Just, you know, they, like we said the whole time, you know, kudos to these guys. Number 10 in the country, Mitch and Alex put up an awesome fight, fought their way hard through the draw. That semifinal took a ton out of them, and Morgan and Fraser just really became rock solid, steady, controlled the pace of play. And their third tournament win of the year, heading into Short Hills.
Okay, and that's a wrap from the Birchwood Club. We'll see everybody at Short Hills next weekend. Good night, everybody.
High performance never tasted this good. Chocolate, berries, cinnamon, agave. Fuel your car, then fuel your body with Remedy Plus.